So I was born in Barcelona in 1955, and this means that for the first 20 years of my life, I lived under dictatorship. It was a political regime which control information, which provide propaganda, and that make us suffer a climate of severe censorship. This means that people in my generation felt the necessity to understand how the information fluxes was going on. You couldn't believe what the media were telling to you. You should always read between the lines. You should apply what we now could call a plugin. This means a code which will allow to interpret what was the fact behind the way the information was presented according some political aims. And this developed a sense of skepticism, doubt. I mean, we were pushed to doubt. We were pushed to be skeptical, to be aware that we should contrast information, that any authoritarian message was suspicious. Descartes, he taught us that we should doubt of everything, and that the doubt is the origin of our conscience, the origin of the way we will apply our intelligence to the understanding of the world. I studied what in Spain we call science of information. It could be something like communication science. I studied semiotics, I studied theory of information, I studied economy, I mean all these kind of social studies regarding the context of mass media culture. And I worked for 3 years in advertising and journalism. At a certain point, I decided to give up this profession and use all the training I had, all what I learned, to just do the opposite. I mean, just unveil the tricks of all these disciplines. When we see a photograph, we don't only capture a fragment of reality. This fragment of reality is providing also all the connotations of this past, of capitalism, of colonialism, of empiricism, and so on. That's the reason I consider that every photograph is a trap. Is a trap. I mean, photography shows a portion of reality, but hides all these ideological components. And usually I do that with some humor, with some irony, because I feel that this is also a communication strategy. If something exists in my mind, is this a real existence, or we need that this exists beside that we consider it? So this is a metaphysical interesting question. In any case, I would, to be short, I would say, of course, sirens exist. I've seen them. I've photographed them, and you know that photography does not lie. So, since photography does not lie, and I show you photographs of sirens, this means, in conclusion, that sirens do exist. Point.
We're just to believe.
Well, you've seen that this is an Italian movie done by the two young filmmakers. The title, F for Fontcuberta, is a parody of F for Fake by Orson Welles, that I'm sure you know. history of what's vrai, what's truth, what's false, authenticity, originality, and things like that. Orson Welles is one of my gurus. The guide, all the chapter with the War of the Worlds when he was in radio, and was so convincing with that fictional story that many people believe that aliens were, arriving on the Earth, and this created a panic, a shock, social shock. So this film is a sort of reference to Orson Welles' film. But yes, I think that the filmmakers did well in mixing, in webbing the two layers, the layers of myself talking about my work and the work itself. And this is a problem I usually have. For instance, sometimes I present a project as a such, as a work. For instance, the invented zoology, the fauna series. That's the story of a German naturalist traveling around the world and searching for hybrids, mutation, monsters, and so on. And this is presented in museums of zoology, in scientific institutions, as actual zoological display, with videotapes, with X-ray plates, with text, everything very serious, with vitrines, with showcases, with skeletons, stuffed animals, and so on. So when I do that, it's the project itself. It's the way I have conceived that material to confront the viewer, because visitors will arrive in the museum and will see, all the explanation about mammals or horses, of deer or whatever, and suddenly they will find a snake with legs. And we say, wow, that's strange, and this will provoke a doubt or surprise, or there's a problem in the conscience inside everyone. Should I believe? We are in the museum, it's a serious institution. Usually they try to explain how nature is working and natural laws and things like that. Okay, so that's an experience. But sometimes I present that series in an art museum or in an art context. And of course, the effect is completely different. Because when you attend an art exhibition, you expect surprise, you expect somehow subversion. So the consequence is completely different. And in that case, I don't pretend to present the project. I document the way I have presented the project in the Natural History Museum. So it's different. It's exactly the same work, but the level, the reading is different. So the fantastic dimension is growing. There's a progression. And little by little, things appear more fantastic. And there's a point you must react. For instance, there's a picture of flying elephants. When you see flying elephants, you say, wow, that's a joke, that's impossible, that's bullshit. And then you get angry because you realize that at this point you are not able to believe any longer. But up to this point you have believed everything. So what's the difference between the snake with legs and the flying elephant? Why you believe that the snake with legs was a genetic possibility and elephants with wings is not possible at all? What makes you arrive to this reaction? And then you start considering your own, procedure, how you achieve knowledge, how you believe. And then answering your question, there are many elements in the process of perception.
Zip. 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 Zip.
In the Miracles series, Of course, there's a concern about religion. Religion is taking place in our secular life in a more intense way. For instance, the neocons in the United States are trying to impose ultra-Christian concern in international politics, but also from the Islamic countries. There's also that sense that politics and religion are interwoven and so on. But besides that, which is clear, what I'm really worried is all these sects, religions à la carte, new churches, new age, I mean, all this kind of spirituality, which is trying finally to fool us. And well, the Miracles series is about credibility, but in the most lower level. You need to go through all the difficulty, all the problem, in order to actually capture information, experience, knowledge, and so on. And you go through a school, you get recipes, and you get everything easy. I mean, the final result is usually superficial. You must make your students be confronted with all the difficulties, all the handicaps. That's the way. I mean, don't avoid the fight, don't avoid the problems, don't avoid all the difficulties that a learning process must involve.